Buffalo, New York here. Buffalo Triathlon Club, open water swim. And I have my Magic5 Goggles, which I'm finally getting to use. I just took these out for a little bit and they were pretty amazing. Just a tiny bit of a leak on my right side just going out, but then I adjusted it while I was swimming and then I didn't have any leak anymore. The difference that I'm feeling quite a bit between this and my other goggles is I don't have to have these very tight at all on my face because they're custom molded, which means I'm not getting that eye headache that you get from normally wearing goggles really tight. Like I normally have to wear goggles really tight in order for them not to leak. So take them out here. I want to show you how they work. These work. That's seriously the great thing about them. They're so clear too, these lenses, and they're low profile, and I can see upward very well. The other kind of goggles that I have a few pair, but they usually protrude a bit from my face, so it kind of limits my my vision a little bit. But these are really nice, like I said, really clear as well. And I'm looking into the sun right now. It's really not bothering me, but they're not like, they don't make it like really dark. Sometimes you get goggles that are just way too dark, and when you look anywhere but the sun, it's just way too dark to see. So these are really nice. I'll try a little bit more. So, personally, I really like these. I think they're worth it. I mean, this is the first time I've tried them. I swam for about, I'd say 15 minutes in them before starting this video. Like I said, they're very comfortable. You don't have to wear them tight at all. And they just, I mean, to me that's a great value just to not get the eye pressure headache. So that's it for now.
Okay, so I'm going to do a little recap and also some extra info on the Magic5 goggles. First, they come with this case that has the Magic5 imprinted on it. And what's nice about this is, look at that, they've got two little ventilation holes in there, so when you are done swimming, if your goggles are still a little bit wet, it's fine because the holes in there will allow it to have proper ventilation, so the water can evaporate. It's got some nice foam in there, really nice case. And here are the goggles. So you want to know, everyone wants to know, how do they fit? Well, they fit very well. You don't have to have them tight at all. That is the biggest point about everything. The worst thing about all my other goggles was I would always put them on so tight that I would get creases on my eyes that would just remain there the rest of the day, and I would get headaches from them. These, you don't have that problem. Also, it comes with this little cloth that also has the Magic5 printed on it, so you can wipe off your goggles nicely. Just to give you an idea as well, these are just two pair of goggles that I usually use these two pair. These ones I've had forever. These are a pair of Aquasphere goggles, if you'll notice, they are not low profile like the Magic 5 goggles. So when I put these on, these are sticking off my face a ways, and because of that, you've got somewhat of blinders coming up, so you can't really tell this, but I can see my fingers wiggling once they're like out to here. And these ones I usually use in a pool, just because sometimes you go into a pool and it has so much chlorine in there that it just ruins everything. So somewhat of a cheapy pair of Speedos. These also, if you can tell, are not that low profile. They stick out a ways, and even these, my fingers have to be here to even see what's on the sides of me. Now, the nice thing about the Magic 5, if you'll notice, the lenses kind of wrap around, and they are low profile. So when I put these on, this is something huge about this. Aside from, again, they're loose on me, but I know that I'm not going to have any leaks even when they're loose. I can see my fingers wiggling here. It's not up here, it's back here. So that's pretty huge. The other thing is when I'm looking up, something I noticed in my last swim, because I've swam again since the video, you can see forward so much better than any other goggles I've ever had. So when you're swimming and you're swimming by sight in open water, I'm looking up and it's hard to demonstrate right now, but I can, normally when I'd have to sight swim, I'd be swimming like this, and then I would have to, look like this. I'd have to completely come out of my, of how I'm swimming just to actually look. With this, I can see up quite a ways, so I barely have to come out of position. I don't have to really break my form all that much, so instead of going back here, I'm going to here, and I can see over waves. And the last time I swam, it was actually pretty choppy, and I had no leaks whatsoever with these, even with choppy waves hit me in the face. And the fact that I could see up and see forward to swim by sight was amazing. I've never had that before, where I didn't have to lift my head way out of the water just to spot something. So I was lifting it just enough that my eyes would kind of see over. I guess that's the best way to put it. It was like kind of like that, and I would see completely forward. So that was awesome. That will help in open water swimming and triathlons and racing. You'll save yourself a bit of aggravation and a bit of time because you'll be keeping your form very well. Something else. So these are the blue. Everything's like a mix of a few different words, but basically like the blue magic mirrored gold. And that mirror did great when the sun was coming at me. And I've done a lot of races where the sun is just coming right at you in the morning. It's coming like right over the water, and you're blinded. And with these, it did a really good job of just reflecting that sunlight. Now the difference, when I use something like this, these are shaded, so relatively dark, but it's basically like that. It's just shaded, so you would get a glare still from the sun. You might be able to kind of look toward the sun a little bit. It would certainly help because they're somewhat like sunglasses, but it didn't reflect the sun away like this one did, which saves your eyes and makes you be able to still see things in focus instead of a big old glare like these kind of goggles. And if I had worn clear ones, then I just wouldn't be able to see it all because the sun would be way too bright reflecting off the water. So that's awesome too. Again, just everything being as clear as it is with the Magic 5 goggles. The other thing that everyone always wants to know is it worth it? Obviously, you're paying like about $55. Sometimes they have specials on things, but roughly $55 per goggle. Some are more if they're limited edition or special goggles. I think it's worth it. And the main reasons, aside, it's basically everything I've been mentioning. The biggest one is not getting headaches from the pressure that I have normally on my face, how there's so much suction because I wear my goggles so tight. I don't have that anymore, and I don't get creases after I'm done swimming, so I can go places and people aren't looking at me like, what's wrong with this guy? I still will have a clear face. That's awesome. No headaches. Again, seeing around you as much as you can with those because they're so low profile. That's just another huge plus. Also, something I didn't mention, the nose clip here, they actually size that to your face too, so that like, doesn't really touch or is, whether it's closer or wider. And just to give you an example, I don't have another cell phone on me, but when you're holding your cell phone to measure it, because people always ask that too, it's really easy. You'll be holding your cell phone like this, and you're basically just kind of going all around your face, and you'll see demonstrations. What you're seeing on your screen are like little triangles, like it makes triangles out of your entire face, little blocks, and every time you get to a point where it thinks it's got it, it'll fill in the triangle. And so to keep going, and kind of sometimes you got to get like a little bit better angle on it for it to notice all of the contours of your face. But I was a little worried about it. It obviously did a pretty good job, and I mean, I don't know, my face is, I think, a little bit weird with how it is. If I'm underwater and I'm breathing with my mouth doing things, I think my face kind of contorts a lot with anything I'm doing. So, but yeah, I think it's worth it. And if you, just like any equipment, if you take care of your equipment, it'll last a long time. Actually, I've had these Aquasphere goggles, which I don't remember exactly how much I paid for them. I know they used to run like anywhere between 40 and 60 bucks. I'm sure I got them on some sort of sale at like 40 or something like that. But these are probably now going on close to 20 years, somewhere between 15 and 20 years old. But I've taken care of them and they've lasted. So when you divide out, how many years have I had something for, and what did I pay for it, and how much did I pay per year, that's makes things very worth it. Just like I have some tri shorts, which at the time I thought, why am I paying $65 for a pair of glorified cycling shorts, but they're still holding up and they're still in great condition, and I think, wow, those were really worth it. I'm glad I bought a few pair. But yeah, and as far as one other thing about the price, the Buffalo Triathlon Club is being sponsored by the Magic5. So we have a discount code BTC20, that's BTC20. If you enter that in when you're ordering your Magic5 goggles, you will get 20% off of the price of your goggles. So that makes it a lot more worth it. So you can buy yourself a couple pairs of goggles now. And just to let you know something too about the company, they have done a lot of nice stuff too, with the during this whole pandemic and quarantine. When there was a shortage of PPE equipment, they actually donated a lot of goggles to medical workers, so that they could have something to cover their eyes, that would be easy to wear and that wouldn't give them headaches from wearing something covering their eyes all day. And they did some nice other giveaways and raising some money for that. So when you have a company that does nice things, it's always nice to help that company out and kind of give back to them too, support them. So check them out, the Magic5. Again, you'll get yourself the case, the cloth, the goggles, nice rubbery strap, real stretchy. Oh, this is really stretchy. And I don't really know what else to say. I think I mentioned it all. One last recap. Mirrored stuff. I like the mirrored stuff. I noticed on their website they actually have a pair of clear goggles now, which would be just totally clear. So if you're in open water, like I swim in Lake Erie out of Buffalo, New York, and sometimes depending on where you are in the lake, sometimes it can get pretty dark, and you can't really see all that far ahead of you. So as long as you're not dealing with a lot of sunlight, like in your vision, those would be awesome to have. Those would be nice and clear. Same with if you're in a pool, those clear ones I think would be awesome to get. So I might think about getting a pair of those. But I really like these, the blue mirrored gold. They also have the black mirrored ones, or the smoke mirrored ones. I think those would be fine too. This kind of gives a cool color though. Makes everything a little bit blue. So when you take them off, everything looks a little bit different when you've been swimming quite a while. But yeah, as you saw in the video, I mentioned I had swam for about 15 minutes that day. The next time that I went was a week later, and I swam for 25 minutes in choppy water. Again, no leaks that second time whatsoever, and it was just really nice. It was really nice to have these on and to again not have to break my swimming form, because I normally would have to lift my head weight out of the water. This I could just look up and just lift up a little bit, and that made a huge difference. It made things so much more enjoyable swimming to not have to worry about that. So if you have any other questions, let me know in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, all that stuff that everyone says. So I'd love to hear your questions. Let me know if you have any. Thank you. Thanks for watching.